There's got to well, and so I heard that about Thor was like Natalie Portman was excited to be in the new Thor movie, and she said it's the gayest superhero movie of all time. And,
but then it wasn't.
But that's
the problem.
That's what everybody said was like, this wasn't gay. Like, what do you mean? Like, what makes this gay? Because I just watched High School Musical, the series with my cousin, and that show is unbelievably gay. And like, you know, it's her birthday, so I was like, happy birthday, Michelle. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is her birthday. She wants to watch this show. She knows that I watch it. Ralph's in the room, and typically I don't watch that show with Ralph around because there are two over-the-top gay characters. So typically it's like, I don't know if I want, you know, Ralphie to be watching this kind of stuff. It's just, you know, it's hard to explain in a lot of ways, you know, because he's still learning, like, well, that's a girl and that's a boy, that's a girl, that's a boy. And then you watch High School Musical, the series, and it's just like Carlos is so unbelievably gay. But I think I guess in that show, and everybody's wearing pride shit, like it's all rainbow shit. But at least with Carlos, he's still a boy. So even like
he's just a boy who likes boys.
And he's not kissing any boys like all the time. Like he's not doing gay stuff constantly. Like he's just a gay character who's in this show, which, you know, when they do that, that's fine. And I'm okay like showing that to Ralph or trying to, you know, like I have no problem watching that. So there are episodes where Carlos is like singing to Seb and they're going to make out. Like, yeah, that's a little gay. Like, Ralphie, I don't want you to sing to your friends, you know, like I don't want that.
Under your eyes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's just, so a lot of people that hated that new Jurassic Park though. Yeah, it was, or I mean the new Thor, it was like, it was supposed to be gayer. We need things to be more gay. We need Lightyear gay.
So I guess the problem was Taika, Natalie Portman, and I think somebody else just said that all over the media. Like, this is the gayest Thor ever. And then it wasn't, so everybody got pissed. But then I was listening to... Do you listen to Two Bears, One Cave?
No, I never even heard of that.
Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer?
No, I guess Tom Segura is somebody I'm not a huge fan of. I just heard him on Rogan one time, and everybody was like, I'm going to see him in his stand-up. And I watched some YouTube videos, and I thought, this guy's not as funny as people are hyping him up to be.
Oh, he's funny. But they were talking about it, and they're like, how much gayer could you be than to have Chris Hemsworth naked on the screen?
I guess that's kind of what they were like.
Doesn't every gay guy want that?
Well, and I was even, you know, I watched the new Minions movie. You know, I watched we watch all those Despicable Me movies, and a lot of the complaints from other parents is like, there's so much sexuality in this movie. You see butts. And I'm thinking, really? And you see like Minion butts, like, you know, when they get like a pant pulled down to see, and you'll see like a Minion's ass, or you'll see Gru's butt, and everybody like it's funny, it gets a laugh out of the kids. But some parents are like, we don't need to sexualize our kids and show them naked ass. Nobody needs to see ass, especially not this.
You're the one sexualizing it. It was a funny joke.
Yeah, if it's a funny gaff, it's different. Like when you're watching certain shows where it's not meant to be funny, where it's like you see the ass and they try and put a finger in there. That's definitely like, that's not as funny. That's like, oh shit, like what am I watching here? Because yeah, you know,
like you never tried to do that in elementary school.
Like a credit card or like chip reader, like, you know, you swipe the ass. Chip readers just leave the finger in there. Try and get it to read
That's
it.
The new one.
I've done that a few times to somebody who probably would appreciate me not saying that out loud on here. But yeah, I made that up. I was like, chip reader, like just leave it in there. That's gonna let it read.
Hang on, it's almost reading. Yeah, it's almost done.
Grab your phone, Apple Pay. Just drop it in there and try and slime it.
Wait, it says do not remove. Hang on.
Yeah, hold on. Tap it. It's got the three little line logo thingies. So, yeah, I don't know. I like that with
Does that person take Apple Pay too?
You know what? I don't think that she does. But either way, yeah, it's
Highlander.
But it's just the world. It's just the world that we're in. It's just like the weird world where you watch a movie now and there's no longer ladylike characters. They're all badass women, and men are just kind of extra. Like
come on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Thank you so much for the fireball from Cassidy. Because I noticed that when we were watching Jurassic World, like all the ancillary characters, like, you know, they go to the military base. There's a woman. There's all these extra characters in this movie that are played by women, and it's not really, or by a person of color. Like they are making sure to hit all these boxes. Because they still have most of the main characters are white people, And then even the villain's got to be a white guy. Like every movie now that comes out, the villain's a white guy. There's no other race that's ever going to be a villain anymore. We need to make sure they are white people. And yeah, when I watch a movie now, it is kind of funny. Like it's just so obvious what we're trying to do here. No longer does anything feel organic. I'm watching Beauty and the Beast in like 14th century France, and there's a bunch of black people in fancy outfits. Like it's just, and there's Asian people. Like we got to make sure we check every single box on every single thing we do. So even if we make an action movie about, if we're making an action movie about one white guy chasing down one white guy, we need to make sure there's other characters in this movie.
Well, yeah, I was watching The Last Viking the other day, and I heard people were complaining about how many white people were in that as well.
Yeah, well, and I don't know why. And Kevin brings this up all the time.
I'm pretty sure there weren't black Vikings, were there?
Kevin brings up counting your minorities because that's what happens a lot now. Is people are like, okay, we need to make sure we have one black guy, one Asian guy. We got to make sure we have one Hispanic female. Like everybody, like I watched that show, that Camp Cretaceous show on Netflix. I watched it with Ralph. I mean, I didn't even realize this, but it's in the Representation Matters collection. Oh, hold on. The grits didn't work. Let me fix that for Nathan Weller. Zach, what is can you see his grit? What did it say?
It says Kyler Murray, the contract, the mandatory film study. Let's talk about it.
That is why we're here. I mean,
and then he said, fix it, Vleeties.
Fix it. Well, because every time this computer I haven't logged out of it. I've actually left it on these past couple of days. And
Peter Parker, Mocha Jane, Asian friend. That's the grit from Tyler. I had to read it.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, exactly. Asian friend. We got to have of color.
Mocha Jane. That's a good one.
Zendaya Mocha. Yeah.
MJ.
Asian friend. And I don't even know how Asian that guy is. Okay, I think I got Botrix fixed, bro. Every time I log in, it logs me out. Like every time I get into Trovo, or every time I just open Brave, it closes everything. So those are back up. Thank goodness. We're here live. It's hashtags and headlines. Geezy is back from his sabbatical. Family things do come up. Something almost came up tonight, Geezy. I was like, I want to talk football. I just want to talk football. And then I had to go to my buddy's house. I'm dog sitting right now. So I got to go over there and let these dogs out. How long do you think a dog can sit in a kennel? What's the limit for you?
I'm the wrong one to ask because I'll just put some food and water in there. It'll be good to go.
Well, I put a bunch of water and I was thinking, okay, I'm good. I went there this morning. I made sure they both pooped. And I thought, okay, this is fantastic.
Kids are just as bright and just as talented as white
Thank
kids.
you so much for the on fire spell.
Some of them are white as well.
And I was thinking, like, okay, cool. I left there at 7. I'm going to be back here at 5:30. And I was like, that's a long time. But I think they like Dublin and Pepper.
You probably could have gone at like noon in between.
So yesterday I went on my lunch break and it was just too rough. I was like, okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of driving. That's a lot of me rushing around. And today I tried to pull it off. Now the bed was wet when I got back to his place, but yeah, it's a Great Dane. I thought it would be soaked. Like it was just a little damp. So I smelled it. Smelled like piss, but I refused to believe it was like a full Great Dane's worth of piss on this bed.
Yeah, it had to piss so much it couldn't hold that much back.
It just kind of dropped a little off. It made like a little half deposit.
I had to release the pressure.
Yeah, because it was like I'll deal with the rest of this later, but I just got to get a little relief. So I think immediately after this, after hashtags and headlines, I got to go back to Louisville, let these dogs out, and then I'm going to come home, sleep in my bed, and then I'm going to go back there at like 7 a.m. again. So it's a rough schedule, but you do it. You take care of your friends, okay? Like that's.
But it's in a kennel all day?
No. So she's in. So there's 2 dogs. One of them's not even in. So one dog is in the laundry room, and they just kind of have a gate, so the dog hangs out in the laundry room. Yeah, like there's no. If they had a doggy door, I'd be over there once a day. But they don't have a doggy door, so it's. I'm kind of at the mercy of. And first of all, it's a Great Dane. The doggy door would just be a 4x4 hole in their wall. Like this dog is huge. So yeah, the only way to make this happen is for me to go back and physically open that door. Because my dogs, if I was gone for 24 hours, they would be fine. They have access to tons of water and they can just come in and go as they please. So yes. Absolutely. I have to take care of that. So there's no Vleeties after this. I know a lot of people were like, Vleeties, was SummerSlam. Still haven't even finished it, Zach. I'm so
Malachi Black says Patriots are going 10-8 this year. Malachi Black says
I knew it would play twice. Okay, good.
It's above 500.
Patriots are going 10-8. Isn't it still a 7?
Nobody wants to fucking hear Geno anyways at this point.
Isn't this a 17-game season? I feel so bad for Geno. I know he's working hard on that cover letter. Like,
he's not.
It's been rough. It's been hard for him. Like, re-listen.
Gino has no grit. I can't deal with Gino until he gets a job and loses like 40 pounds at least.
Like when I re-listen to those discussions, it really does like make me so sad that there's a human being out there who lies about stuff. Like just the way he lies is so shocking.
I've never heard so many excuses in an hour and 30 minutes.
I really like the Daily Burn stuff where he was like, I'm gonna go to bed, and then as soon as we were all done doing Daily Burn, Kevin checked Discord. He's like, nope, Gino's still active. So like he just lies to her face, and I know that I should be mad at somebody who lies to my face, but I not that I forgive him. I just think he's such a sad sap, which is a nice way to say loser. That's just what he has to do to feel better about himself. Like I have.
You know what he needs to get him motivated?
What?
I think some girl's got to tie him to a treadmill and whip his ass while he's on the fucking treadmill.
Some sadomasochistic, like the slower you run, the deeper the dildo goes in. Like,
then he'll just stop.
And all that was so fake, by the way. I've been talking to this guy for 2 years, and he never mentioned that. Like, it's shocking to me where some of these twists and turns take us, because this guy lived in Missouri and couldn't get the job, and then he moved back home, and that ruined like his vision of the world. He got a job at Chipotle and had IBS. Like, you didn't have IBS during your fucking your masochistic play, like mid-sex.
It's probably just norovirus from working at Chipotle.
I gotta take a shit. I can't have sex right now. I gotta take a shit. So it's really a bum out, but I'm so glad you're back, Zach. So you had some major life events take place, but now you're back. You're sitting across the table from me, and the NFL. I got bit by a bug, dude. Like I don't know when it hit me so hard, but it's every once in a while. Like, I'm not listening to any wrestling podcast right now. I've kind of been going through a re-listening to old TWFS and old Jim and them phase. So I was kind of looking I need a podcast to listen to right now as I drive. And dude, the Athletic Football Show won, of course. And then that led to another football podcast, and just could not stop listening to football podcast. And dude, the NFL is here. Like, we're at it. Like, I get bit by the bug every once in a while. This is the most I think I've ever been bit, where I am so excited for football season. I have NFL Red Zone. I check Spectrum. I didn't cancel my channels throughout the offseason like many people thought I would, or I thought I even would. Like, I've been watching baseball. I've been watching, like, as far as live television goes, we don't watch a ton of stuff. But I kept telling Linda, I was like, it's worth it for Red Zone, for Monday night, Sunday night football. It's worth it for when we do watch live baseball. It's nice to have those channels. So yes, I'm ready, Zach. Like, do you watch, like, when does it happen for you? Are you in it right now? Because you even said in the Discord this week, like, football season, like, you were ready too. Because it used to be like the draft. We were all so stoked for football. But it takes me a while now, and I think I'm there. Like, are you there right now, or do you think around like fantasy football draft season, that's when it kicks in?
I'm getting ready. It's got to be fantasy. The Hall of Fame game is a joke. I'm into preseason, though. Right. Usually for me, it's Hard Knocks. Is there Hard Knocks this year?
Yeah, I think it starts this week, I think there's a Hard Knock starting this fucking week. So
that gets me hard. So that's where it starts. And then this year, where I've got to get back into it, is I have to watch college this year. Because the draft is fucking meaningless if you don't watch college football.
Yeah.
You're just sitting like, oh, cool. You get the 2-minute review of this guy. I have no clue who he is, how well he's going to do on your fucking team. So I feel like that was when I was most into football, when I was following college and the NFL, watching the games all the time, knowing the players. You got to get back into it, dude.
Yeah, well, dude, I love college. Maybe it's living in Texas. College football really has become like something real.
Fucking life, bro.
Something that I pay attention to is college football.
You got to go to high school football games out there.
Well, shit, I talked to a guy today who played against Johnny Manziel. It was like, what? And he was like, dude, he was the number one quarterback in the state, maybe even in the nation. And we had the number one defense in the nation, and we were really excited to play them. And he dropped 300 passing yards, 250 rushing yards, and he ate us alive. I was like, oh, damn. So, yeah, this year we have college football, obviously, I'm super excited for every year. And it's the same on the West Coast, but, like, even living here, it's just all day. It's an all-day event because, we're from the West Coast, so like even at 9 p.m. the Pac-12 games kind of start kicking off. Like, oh, Washington UCLA is on right now, and it's like 9 p.m. and we're kind of done with our day of football, but there's a Pac-12 game on, and then Hawaii kicks off at like 11 p.m. here. So we're just like there's football literally all day, and that rolls into Sunday where we get to watch Red Zone, which I'm a Red Zone guy. So
yeah, and I'm checking right now, making sure Red Zone's still on Hulu Live. I got to get that shit added back.
And we have the Detroit Lions will be the team on Hard Knocks this year. I believe so, right? Lions Hard Knocks this season. A very interesting team because you look at how drastic teams can change in the offseason. This team didn't change, I feel. There's like nothing about them that's different from last season. It's still Jared Goff who sucks. It's like I like that this is the team that was selected because it is more fun when they pick the shitty teams. Like you kind of want to watch this team that's struggling. You want to watch these shitty players struggle to make a shitty team. There's a lot of drama built into this. So I'm excited.
There's never been a Hard Knocks team to win the Super Bowl, right?
No, there hasn't.
Maybe the Ravens?
Well, because
when it was Saragusa and those guys?
I remember when the Patriots won the Super Bowl, they wanted to do a Patriots Hard Knocks, and Belichick was like, no, I
would never fucking happen.
He was like, I win Super Bowls to avoid being on Hard Knocks. Like that was kind of what his reaction was no, we're not doing that shit. People want to have Dan Campbell, they like that coach. They're like, we're going to take a bite out of their legs and we're going to fucking kill them. So Dan Campbell's supposed to be a huge star this season. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like when I think of the Detroit Lions right now, there really is
Malachi Black says, what are the odds for the Lions going winless?
Oh gosh. Like, yeah.
Winless?
Because I'm looking at even in the North, they're clearly the fourth best team. So that means they're in last there. I don't know who they're better than. Like if you match them up against every fourth place team, they're definitely the worst. Like is there odds on them going winless? Because I could predict it happening.
Let's look it up. I mean, there's odds for fucking anything on the NFL, dude.
Well, let's just look at their schedule. The Lions 2022 schedule. It can't be good for them. So they're going to play the Falcons to open the season. Which honestly, I mean, I know I just said they're probably going to lose. Dude, this is preseason. Sorry. Okay, good.
The odds of them going 0-17 on DraftKings
Shane Coops. Sorry.
It's only plus 450.
So these are good odds.
You win $400. That's pretty likely to fucking happen.
Jeez, that's not far off from the Raiders are plus 700 to win the West, like the AFC West. So like those are kind of similar there. That's not too far off. In the chat from Cassidy, Texans will be the worst. What is that about? What and all this drama?
The Dolphins, dude.
All this drama about. There's so many storylines that we can go through. Like, because even just thinking right now, like hearing that, like the Texans are going to be the worst, right? Davis Mills is their quarterback. That just accepted. Davis Mills is the quarterback. They're running with Davis Mills, 6th round draft pick out of Stanford. This is their guy, and they're committing to him for another year. They liked kind of what they saw last year. But if you're the Texans and you lose Deshaun Watson, don't you kind of think, like, okay, hold on. Like, maybe this Jimmy Garoppolo situation, maybe we can go get Jimmy G. Maybe we should compete and try and get Baker Mayfield. Like, there's other quarterbacks that are looking for work. How do you end on Davis Mills is going to be our starter?
Just fucking hopelessness, bro. I don't know who is that.
Davis Mills, 6th round draft pick. So I remember listening to some shows before he got drafted, and people were saying he is one of the better quarterbacks. He performed well at the combine or some shit. So while everybody was talking about who the best quarterbacks are in the draft and Trevor Lawrence and all, like, I guess Davis Mills at the end of the year was the best performing rookie quarterback, I guess, is kind of what people were saying. Like, well, he's outperforming Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence is on like the shittiest team. So, like, we'll have to see how that pans out. But so many storylines. But yeah, the Lions being able to lose every game. I'm looking at Eagles week 1, Commanders week 2. That'll be a toss up. That'll be their biggest test. If they can get by the Commanders in week 2, if they could just put that shit to bed and be 1-1 to start the season, okay, they did it. Because I could see them losing to the Vikings. They can lose to the Seahawks. Or can they? The Seahawks are another team that, like when we're talking who's going to be the worst, maybe that's not too far off. Huh? That could be exactly correct.
Could be. I think so.
I guess the easy thing to do is like, okay, Super Bowl favorites, and then who would be like the last place teams? Because realistically, now I'm gonna put my fan cap away. All right, I am wearing my Angels hat. I noticed that. Like you had your Patriots shirt on or your Patriots hat. You were very ready for this. Now I've been telling everybody at work the Raiders are gonna win the Super Bowl. Like why wouldn't they? But realistically, if I'm gonna try and keep my reputation in hand here, I can't pick the Raiders to win the Super Bowl. I just don't think they have the tools for it. I think adding Devonta Adams is great, but I do think they lost a couple guys on defense that I would not have let go. I like Max Crosby. I think they have a solid defense, but it's just not like a Super Bowl winning defense. It's not like the Rams defense of last year. It's not like the it's not who's the other. It's not like the Buccaneers defense when they won. Like you have to have like a top 5 defense to win a Super Bowl. I know that the defense wins championships is such like a silly thing, but it's kind of true when you start playing these elite offenses. You have to have a stacked defense. So if you don't have a stacked defense, bro, you don't have a chance of winning a Super Bowl. So I don't know. Like if I look at the AFC, honestly, let's go there first. Like you look at Baltimore, I don't think so. Kansas City is always the easy one, right? Like everybody, they got Patrick Mahomes. They kind of rebooted their receiver core, Juju Smith-Schuster. They lost Tyreek Hill, which is kind of interesting. They're going to have to rely more on Travis Kelce. They added some other pieces. I don't know. Do you think New England is ready to make that jump? A lot of people are on the Chargers bandwagon. Cincinnati can obviously make it back. Is there an AFC team that just jumps off the page? Like, well, no, obviously Denver.
Fucking Denver. Ooh, they got Russell, right?
They got Russell Wilson, and they're more favored to win the Raiders, win the West than the Raiders.
Yeah, well, the Raiders fucking suck. The AFC, I mean, you got the Chiefs. The Bills are going to be out there.
Yep.
The Bengals it depends on Joe. He's recovering from like a knee injury, right?
Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
No, his knee should be better than ever now.
I thought he injured in the Super Bowl.
No, that you're thinking of Orlando Jones Beckham. You're thinking of Odell Beckham Jr.
Okay, sure. The Steelers, trash. Raiders, trash. Colts, no. Ravens, they were shitty last year because what's his face got hurt, right?
They had injuries everywhere. Like they had J.K. Dobbins got hurt, Gus Edwards got hurt. Like they had Latavius. So they could
be a dark horse.
Latavius Murray was like their number 1 back, and he wasn't even on the team to start this season. So
the Titans lost Julio, right? He went to the Buccaneers,
but he didn't do much last year anyway. But they lost A.J. Brown. And they drafted this other receiver that has all these negative stories in the press right now. Like, there's some websites out there that we don't really look at as football fans that we should be looking at.
They traded A.J. Brown?
Yeah, they traded him for, like, not much. Like, I think he was one of those guys that wanted out.
Damn. All right. Well, then, I mean, they still have my favorite running back of all time, so I'll give them some odds. Dolphins, garbage. Broncos, what receivers do they have?
They have Jerry Jeudy and then that Cortland Sutton kid. Like, they have good receivers. They're just not sexy names. Like, that's the problem with Denver is they added Russell Wilson. I think they added somebody on defense. That's kind of a big deal, which we could just be bringing all this shit up as we talk about it. But like they added some pieces where, yeah, that makes sense. That's probably a good move. But I don't think that, like, that team sucked last year. Like, I don't think you add like a veteran quarterback and suddenly that flips everything. Like, it just, oh wait, never mind, we got the guy now, we're suddenly the best team in the AFC West.
They did it with Peyton,
and everybody's on the LA Chargers dick. It's like they didn't even make the playoffs last year, and like I know that on that final play of the game they shouldn't have called the timeout. Maybe they would have made the playoffs, but like they weren't that. I know that everyone's expecting Herbert to take a big leap, but I think Keenan Allen's getting older. I think that they don't have like this stacked roster that people are just. I know they added Khalil Mack, like that actually seems scary, but even Khalil Mack wasn't that dominant in Chicago. So
what's he done since he's left Chicago?
Yeah, everybody's really, really high on the Khalil Mack bandwagon, or everybody's high on the Chargers is what I mean. And I don't see that. I don't know where we're all deciding this is the team.
So Jets still, I've heard they made some good moves, and Zach Wilson they are projecting he's one of the guys who's going to have a good second year, but they're the fucking Jets. The Browns, Deshaun is suspended 6 games, right?
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of this is hashtags and headlines. We have Kyler Murray's contract that we have not discussed. And so Deshaun sat out all last year. Was that like a voluntary sit out, or was that like hey, the league's investigating this guy? Because doesn't last year sort of count as his suspension? Like, I know that they were waiting for, now that all these lawsuits are being settled and they were kind of figuring out when is this guy going to be able to play. I thought maybe last year's year off was punishment, but now I'm thinking, was that not punishment?
Catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Having a 6-game suspension.
Point. Why does he not get time served for that?
An Alexa bomb! Thank you so much, Old Lang Sign. We're in a live arena mode. This site's been having these battles where we're competing against other streams. So everyone give me a bunch of money right now. That's the only way we can win. Thank you, Old Lang Sign. Yeah. Hey! Spliff Saw. Welcome, Spliff. Or Spliff Swaw. Like Manswaw.
What company was that?
Oh, that was the North Face. That was the North Face.
Yeah.
They wanted
I was in fucking Shields the other day. And I saw this legit jacket, and I saw North Face. I was like, fuck them.
Oh, yeah. Gave up on it. Yeah, there's no reason.
Fuck them. I'm a Columbia guy.
I'm wearing these jeans were from Sam's Club. So yeah, a lot of people were on the Jets bandwagon. Like, one of my buddies was like, they had the best draft. And I was like, no, they didn't. Like, don't. Just because
nobody in the history of the NFL have turned it around with one draft. It takes multiple years, and it takes multiple years to develop the people you draft in that 1 year anyways.
Yeah, I always
not going to have a bunch of fucking rookies win a Super Bowl.
Well, I always love that where it's like their draft was so good because you never know what these guys are going to look like once they develop. It's still,
even if it was great, come back in 4 years when they're actually all starters and making an impact.
Yeah, like and I thought the Raiders won the draft because what they did was they took their first and second round picks, turned it into Devontae Adams, like a proven commodity in the NFL. They didn't give up much to get him. Like, what else were they supposed to get in the first round? I'd rather get a 26-year-old Devontae Adams who's in the prime of his career. So I liked,
as long as he doesn't like Topgolf, you should be good.
We should be fine. And we need to keep all the Raiders away from guns and Topgolf. Oh my gosh. Like, what?
They should all have their own Uber drivers, just follow them around everywhere they go.
Khalil Mack is now in LA. I mean, what did we get for Khalil Mack? We got Henry Ruggs and Damon Arnett. That was Topgolf, and somebody had a gun on Instagram. Lost both of those first round picks that we got for Khalil Mack. So you're welcome, Chicago. Although it didn't really work for them, but yeah, the Deshaun Watson deal. Come on, 6 games. Like, after Calvin Ridley gets suspended for a year, and that's for gambling on Prize Picks or DraftKings or whatever. Like, doing something silly that every player probably is doing, but like, why?
They're just on a burner account. They're not fucking stupid like him.
Yeah, and so he gets.
Or they're using their girlfriend's name.
He gets 1 full year in the prime of his career. He's got to go out for a year. Deshaun Watson, allegedly, like, the NFL is paying these women off to like keep them quiet, and he only gets 6 games. Like, that's their official suspension. Is this just sort of he's the quarterback, and we can get away with this because it's Deshaun Watson. He equals ratings. We need him back on the field.
Maybe they did consider time served, and they're like, well, he was already out a year. We're not going to make it official, but he sat out a year, fucking Ghost Cup. So we'll only give him 6 games, but was it that big of a story? Like, no criminal charges happened. There was no fucking video like Robert Kraft. There was nothing. So what sucks is I would be pretty high on the fucking Browns if he was going to play all year.
Would you?
But him missing 6 games, yeah, dude. They won a playoff game with Baker Mayfield. Deshaun is much better than Baker.
The Cleveland Browns are the Los Angeles Angels. Like, that's just how.
Well, you remember that? I know Matty Spice isn't on, but they beat the fucking Steelers.
They did beat the Steelers in what was their Super Bowl? That was
rushed them.
That was it. Once they won that game, they had nothing left. Like, it was just, we fucking did it. Division rivals, beat them by 40. Let's fucking go. Saddle up, bro. Progressive commercials. Like that was the end of their year. Was they beat the evil empire in Pittsburgh, so that they felt accomplished. That was all they needed to get done. So I like it. Like I think we were all rooting for the Browns except for Matty Spice, but they're the Los Angeles Angels of the NFL. Like no matter what they do, they can add a Josh Hamilton, they can add an Albert Pujols, they can have Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, get Noah Syndergaard, then trade him. It doesn't matter what these guys do. They're always going to be the shitty team with big stars. Like that's just how they had Johnny Manziel. Like it's just everything about the Browns is interesting. We're going to watch them, but we know they're not going to win enough football games to win a Super Bowl. Like I look at the Deshaun Watson Browns, and they added Amari Cooper, which the Cowboys kind of didn't get much for that, so that's huge. Like okay, cool. Like that's a good move on their part. You're able to get Amari Cooper for almost nothing. They added Jadeveon Clowney.
Catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Oh, Meg signed with the healing kiss. Oh, we better win this thing. Our rival, Mommy Mikers 22, has arrived, Geezy. And first blood from Auld Lang Syne. We are in it now. I don't know how it works. Hopefully nobody. That's a lot. Auld Lang Syne, thank you so much. There's no way Mommy Mike is going to be able to do this. So, Mommy Milkers. Sorry, it's Milkers. So that's like boobs.
No.
Remember we watched the chick from AT&T. People were all jealous of her milkers. So you look at Jacoby Brissett. They're saying he's going to start. They still have Myles Garrett. They got Nick Chubb.
Catch the buzz, feel the sting.
What? Auld Lang Syne with a hot dog. They got a hot dog. Cassidy with the chicken winner.
Catch the buzz, feel the sting.
That's how these wars start, man. These guys are throwing this stuff. Thank you so much, Cassidy. Auld Lang Syne. Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku, Joshua Dobbs. Josh Dobbs is on the Browns too. So I don't know. Like I look at their roster and I still see a lot of the same characters. And it's also not just players. It's got to be the coaching staff. It's got to be like when you're looking at player development. That's what happens with the Angels. That's why when people leave the Angels, they start batting .283 for the Rockies, like C.J. Cron. So
poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
We do the Randy Orton when there's a Randy Orton spell being cast. Randall, I work with a guy at work. I told him you look like Randy Orton, right?
Poor kids are just as bright and
he
just
said
as
who?
talented as white
Oh,
kids.
like son with a hydrate. He knew exactly who it was. I was like, okay. Kareem Hunt's still on the Browns, obviously, but I don't know. I look at the AFC North. They're going to come in fourth.
Poor kids are.
You think they're going to come in fourth?
White kids.
I think the Steelers are going to be sneaky.
Who's the Steelers quarterback?
Mike Tomlin's their coach. That's all that matters. It's like,
yeah, that fucking cheater, huh?
they're going to get it. Mitchell Trubisky is the Steelers coach, and I think they're happy with it.
Yeah.
I think they're happy with it. So I'm thinking Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, Clowney, all these guys, all these all-stars, they're on the Angels. So just imagine that. Imagine Juan Soto showed up on the Angels. They would still lose 100 games in one season. So, not too excited for the Cleveland Browns this year. And Deshaun only getting 6 games is kind of a meme. Like, I thought the obvious one was a year. Everybody was making jokes. It's going to be a year. Josh Rosen's going to ball out this season. Like, that was what we all thought. They have 4 quarterbacks on this roster. They were ready for a year suspension. Like, who gets cut? Josh Dobbs, Josh Rosen, or Jacoby Brissett?
Probably Dobbs. Maybe Brissett. Well, I don't know. Brissett was fucking legit.
Brissett's their starter is what I've heard. Like, for week 1, like, they're going to Brissett. Like, they're pretty confident in Brissett. And Rosen, for me, Rosen's the one that's expendable. Like, no offense.
You can't get rid of a guy named Chosen
Poor
Rosen.
kids are
dude.
just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Thank you, Tyler Spina, for the Randy Orton spell. So, yeah, I don't know. I think you get rid of Rosen. I think you trade Chosen Rosen and see what you can get for him. Maybe send
Poor
him
kids
to.
are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Just do a bunch of Randy Orton poses in a row.
Just don't stop.
Maybe that's where we get our new Houston.
We're
Texans
winning
quarterback.
137,000 to 0 right
Yes. Okay. Thank God. I was worried that we weren't going to win. Ricardo was like, "You lost last time." I was like, "What?" I didn't pay attention. I didn't look. So, yeah. So the other story is Kyler Murray, obviously. That was what my producer, Nathan Weller, wanted us to talk about. Way, way, way too much money. I mean, come on. That is a lot of money to give Kyler Murray. Like, I don't care if Kyler Murray is the best quarterback that the Cardinals have had.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented
Since
as
Kurt
white kids.
Warner. Thank you, Ricardo. How do you justify making the 13th best quarterback in the NFL the second highest paid?
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I'm already at a drink cardio. How am I going to do this? Yeah, that's clearly all it is, right?
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Is it his third year?
This is his
fourth year.
I think it's his third year. I do think it is his third year.
So he got 5-year, $230 million. How much of that is guaranteed? All of it?
Oh, they removed the independent study clause from it. Okay, so that was another interesting part of this whole thing was the independent study clause. Like they wanted to guarantee that he was going to watch a certain amount of film. They wanted to make sure that he was like invested.
That is pretty fucked. It's like, give me a contract, but you put in the contract, I have to do my job. What the fuck is this?
I think it's just, I think they're just worried that a lot, because now from what I've heard, I live here in North Texas. Kyler Murray is from Lewisville, Texas, which is where I will be going to Lewisville right after this to let my friend's dogs out. So I'm going to be where Kyler Murray's from. And I everybody that's ever met Kyler Murray who lives in this area says he's a huge piece of shit. So it's like, it's not even like a, oh yeah, I used to talk to him and his dad and, they were a little rough around the edges, but they were good people. Like, no, it's these guys were the two biggest pieces of shit in the history of North Texas. And Allen High School, which won many state championships with Kyler Murray, he wasn't supposed to go to school there. He lived in Lewisville, but his dad was the groundskeeper at Allen. The Allen football program is much better. So he was able to get Kyler to go to the school in Allen because that was a better program. That was going to get him more noticed. So the dad was like, well, I work at Allen, so I got to drive my son there. Like, that's not how school districts work at all. But it's like, well, no, he's good at football. He can come to whatever school he wants to go to. This is Texas, gosh darn it. So, yeah. So,
well, hey, if that was the case, then the greatest high school quarterback of all time would have never played football.
That is true.
Fucking Timothy Tebow, dude.
Tim Tebow, and well, even Colt McCoy. I've heard stories about Colt McCoy, like in high school. It was one of those scenarios, like a not Friday Night Lights, Varsity Blues, where it was they'd be on the 2-yard line or something, and it's so obvious. Let's just pound the ball in with our running back. No. Colt needs more touchdowns this game. We got to throw a pass. We got to get Colt McCoy at least 7 touchdowns today so we can break the state record. Like, there's coaches out there like that. If your dad's an assistant coach and you're like, damn it, I need to get my son to Texas. I want him to go to UT. He'll bring us a damn state title.
He's got to fucking eat, fucking feed him, dude. We got to set records, bro.
Throw him the fucking ball. So, and that's why whenever you see like really inflated or gassed up college or high school stats, it's just.
What do you think Pete Carroll did for fucking Russell Wilson? Come on.
Yeah, it's literally you're just kind of blowing these guys up because, like, well, if we get him the high enough stats, he'll go to this school. We'll get more recognized. Quickly, everybody from the chat's Jim Ross. Kind of is accurate. Oklahoma is just a more southern version of Texas, even though Texas is south of Oklahoma. My son, he's going to play football. All right, he's going to do a good job for you. But you got to let him play. You got to give him the ball. At least 45 carries a game. And he'll rush about 8 of them in there. So we're going to score a lot of touchdowns. It's going to be like playing Madden 08. It's a score bunch. There's no defense. So in that contract, they did have an independent study clause. And after seeing the distraction that it created, they removed that addendum from the contract, they said. It was clearly perceived in ways that were never intended. Our confidence in Kyler is as high as it's ever been. Nothing demonstrates our belief in his ability to lead this team more than the commitment reflected in his contract. So, I don't know. Is that them succumbing to bullying? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, hey, I'm paying you this much money. If I put in here you have to drink Red Bull and not Monster, you're going to drink Red Bull and not Monster. I'm paying you $46 million. Is there anything wrong with, and you're also a salary employee. It's not hourly. If I'm telling you when you go home, you don't get to watch Stranger Things, you have to watch football. I don't know. I don't think that's completely illogical.
I think the only thing it tells me is that in his 2 years, they don't think he's watched enough fucking film. That's it. Like like I said, it's your fucking job. It's like you on a salary, them saying, well, also when you sign this contract, it says you have to work 40 hours a week. It's like, well, yeah, no shit. I'm working full time. Like why would I do anything less?
So let's read what the addendum actually was. So the Pro Bowler was to complete at least 4 hours of independent study each week excluding any bye week.
4 hours a week.
And that's not much. Like, that's what I mean. Like, 4 hours a week? I watch
30 minutes every day.
I watch more wrestling than that in a week. Like, that's not very much. Like when you think, okay, Monday night I get home, I'm going to do some film. You could knock that out in one night. Like, you could get home from practice at 6 and watch football until 10 and be done with your independent study and turn in your homework. Like, why? Why is that an insane? Like, oh, we don't trust this guy to actually do it. But I don't know. Like, that just seems like such a logical amount of time. Like, hey, that should be a norm for a lot of contracts. Like, look at what's my favorite player in the world, Jamarcus Russell. They gave him the blank DVD, and he went home and didn't even put it in the DVD player. And they asked him, hey, what'd you think of the DVD? He goes, oh, it was great. I know what I need to work on. It was fucking blank. So, like, there's all these stories of these prima donna quarterbacks and prima donna athletes who don't want to watch film. John Jones.
You never seen Draft Day, dude?
John Jones didn't train for fighting until he was like 30. So there's lots of athletes that can just get by on their talent. But hey, you're going to sign this multi-million-dollar contract. We're going to invest in you. You have to invest in us as well. So I don't know if there's anything wrong with 4 hours of film study.
Well, the problem would be if you're doing fucking hours of film study already.
Sure.
Because I think that's where the 5 as defined below needs to be fucking called out. Because if he's already doing 2 or 3 hours of film study while at practice, fuck that. I'm not going to do it 4 more hours once I get home after.
That's a good point. Like, yeah, if he's already doing 8 hours and they're like, hey, we like what you're doing, but we have mandatory other stuff you're supposed to be doing anyway, and that's going to take additional time, then yeah, that is kind of fucked up. But it even says, like, there's independent study material provided to him by the team in order to prepare for the upcoming game. This is to take place as stipulated in the addendum for the duration of the seasons under the contract. A season begins on the first Monday, the conclusion of training camp, and goes through the team's final game on the schedule, including the postseason. It states that the player will not receive credit for the independent study if the player, and then in quotes, is not personally studying or watching the material while it is being displayed or played. Oh my gosh. So he has like it's almost like he's logging into like a webinar, and it's like a Zoom, and it shows like Kyler. Okay, Kyler's
you didn't
here.
Move your mouse for 2 hours.
Kyler, your webcam's off. Please turn your webcam back on, Kyler. Please, thank you. Like, that's really what they were trying to do with him, is like that part of it is a little bit silly. Like, if you gave him a bunch of DVDs and stuff, and he had to, I don't know, clock in and clock out. Or if it was just you do, they have ways to track like how long you're even on your screen. So yeah, if you just have the iPad open and you're like trying to trick it by going like this or some shit, like there would be ways to know. But the fact that it's, hey, we're going to play a video and you need to watch it while it's on. We're only going to play it for you once. Potty breaks. Okay, hold on. Let's all pause the video. Like that does seem a little childish and it does seem like they don't trust him.
Yeah, that's... as you're talking, that's all I'm thinking of is like, why don't they fucking just watch film constantly during practice every day? Like, it's their full-time
Malachi
job.
Black says Kyler needs to grow the fuck up.
And that's probably the main thing
about it. They're at the facility all fucking day long. So why does just him, okay, the other question, are there a bunch of other players on the roster that have the same stipulation? Then maybe not a big deal.
That's what. Yeah, if it was the norm, like I was saying, if they did that for everybody, absolutely. Like if you had every player on your contract was, hey, by the way, we have Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, we have an hour long, like at 7 p.m. Instead of watching a television show, we're going to do a live webinar and we're going to watch some film together via Zoom. Like that's fine. I think but that's still not independent study. Like that's still like the team is hosting something and you're having to do that. But I think that a lot of it is probably what Nathan just said. Kyler needs to grow up. Kyler does need to. The only reason they would put this in there is if maybe he's not watching film. Maybe he is.
You know what the other option is? Don't give him $300 million in his third fucking season of his career. How about that?
Well, and he was a first overall pick, so he has like. Don't they have like the 5th-year option? Isn't that just the obvious thing that everybody does? Like you just wait.
You always fuck them. You hold on to him. And you hope you don't piss them off enough that they want to leave.
So he signed $230.5 million extension on Monday. So I mean that's That's a lot of money. Like he's locked in until the 2028 season.
Not only do we,
and I agree. Like the main reason they're doing it is because, and this is the NFL. You have to have a quarterback. Otherwise, you're going to be the Texans. Like, well, let's see if we can develop Davis Mills into something serviceable. Or people are saying Seattle doesn't want a quarterback because they're going to wait until the draft. Like, no, we hope we have a shitty season because we like some of the prospects that are coming out next year. Like, some teams will do that. Like, it makes sense for teams to tank. It makes sense for teams to try and develop. And I think if you're the Cardinals and you've had what? Josh Rosen you had before that. You had Ryan Lindley, Derek Anderson. Like,
they haven't been legit since, like, I was in college when it was Kurt Warner. They had the two fucking wide receivers. I can't remember their names.
Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolton. Like, they had a really good team. But like, yeah, that's a great call out. Like they had Kurt Warner who was really good there. Let's look at their starting quarterbacks. Thank God Wikipedia exists.
I mean, it's better than the Browns at least, but anything's better than the Browns.
So like Kyler Murray, Josh Rosen, they had Sam Bradford, Carson Palmer for 4 seasons. And the first season that he was there, he shared time with Drew Stanton and Ryan. Oh, that was the second season. Ryan Lindley was the quarterback. This was my favorite year, was that 2012 year. John Skelton, Kevin Cobb, Ryan Lindley, Brian Hoyer.
You got to scroll up, bro.
Oh, is it not showing up on the screen? Okay.
You got the little zoom screen.
I gotcha. I mean, I just made it small. John Skelton, Kevin Cobb, Ryan Lindley, Brian Hoyer. Because even at work, the only person I could remember was Ryan Lindley. I was like, I remember watching Ryan Lindley start way more games than Ryan Lindley deserved to start. Like, there was no reason why he was starting. Like, multiple games, you have Ryan Lindley in there at quarterback. Kevin Cobb, they had high hopes for because he played well in Philadelphia.
Had 2 years where Jake Plummer was their only quarterback on the roster.
Jake Plummer was balling out. There was this is how many games they played in. So Plummer played all 16 in 2001.
Oh, I can't see that either, dude. You're fucking.
I can see it.
You got to check what the audience is seeing right now.
Hold on. There we go. I fixed it. So Jake Plummer, played 16 games that season. So after Kurt Warner left in 2009, that began the era of Derek Anderson was going to be their quarterback. They had John Skelton for 4 games. They had Max Hall for 3 games. Then they went into the Kevin Kolb era, but that still had some John Skelton in it. John Skelton he had a job for a while, man. His job was to be that quarterback. They wanted him to fix.
You know they're bad when their fucking Wikipedia picture is them in high school.
Yeah. Oh yeah. These uniforms are so silly. Like, this is either some like high school or it's some like Division III college football team that he played for.
Is it Chafee? What does that say? I can't even read that.
There's no reason to even try. Carson Palmer. Yeah. Then they went. So that Carson Palmer era ended and they had Blaine Gabbert. I remember that. And then, they got Rosen. Like, they thought maybe this will work out. We have Josh Rosen, and they were so shitty and he wasn't very good. So they got Kyler. And even the Carson Palmer era.
They took quarterback first 2 years in a row, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, Rosen was the 10th pick, and he said 9 teams that skipped him. They're going to regret it. They're going to fucking regret it. Like, I'm Josh Rosen. They've had Kyler Murray for 3 years now. Lock him up. Get him done. $230 million. And this happened with Blake Bortles a few years ago. I remember when Blake Bortles got his 5th-year option and made like $16 million for his 5th year in Jacksonville. It was like, well, what else are they going to do? Like, sometimes you got to settle for mediocre who still might develop into something better. But at least it's better than having a Josh Rosen. It's better than having a John Skelton, a Kevin Cobb, or Ryan Lindley. Like, you can go through this revolving door of mediocrity, or you can lock in.
Ryan Fitzpatrick got fucking paid.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick had several. 20-year career.
He was solid, dude.
Yeah, and he had that weird, like, he had a weird hex, not a hex, but he just had this weird like omen on him where whichever team he was on, he's starting. He's playing. Like, don't sign him if you don't want him to start, because he's gonna start. So don't expect him to show up and be a trusty backup. That fucker's gonna start some games for you. Like, that's what I loved about him. But yeah, Kyler Murray gets this huge deal. Like, part of me gets it because you don't want to be in that revolving door. Like, You don't want to be stuck in the Davis Mills. You don't want to be stuck in the Drew Locks. Like, you don't know, like, when you're going to have somebody this good again. And even if they're not even that good, like, you just somebody better than the worst. Somebody in the top 15. Because even when you look at, like, quarterback tiers, he is, like, number 13. Like, people don't have him that high up. Like, people can name 12 better quarterbacks than Kyler Murray. But, like, if you're the Cardinals and it's time to pay somebody, I think Kyler's the guy you pay.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem with college. I don't even know what's in the pipeline coming.
I should find that story for you. Because, yeah, Seattle Seahawks are planning on drafting the QB next season. Like, that's their plan is.
And why do you get
the
fucking
buzz,
Russell
feel the
Wilson?
sting.
Oh, we won! I got it. Yeah, a healing kiss from Nathan. Thank you, Nathan. This is your football show. You brought it on, dude. So let me see. Seattle future draft pick status. Wait, so they don't have Russell Wilson. What do you mean? They traded Russell Wilson. They're done. They've moved on.
Oh, fuck. I'm thinking it backwards. I was thinking Broncos with Russell Wilson.
They're going in with Drew Lock. Like, they want Drew Lock.
So who the fuck do the Seahawks have?
Drew Lock.
That I would know other than DK?
They have DK Metcalf, who just signed a fat contract because he's really their team captain now. Like, that's just kind of what they've decided is we're gonna run this whole fucking thing, dude, with DJ Metcalf. Drew Lock's gonna be their quarterback. Kenneth Walker III is somebody that I guess we're supposed to keep an eye out for. Geno Smith is like rumored to be a potential starter for them. They got Jacob Eason as well. Like, they're gonna have a shitty year. Like, I think that's their plan is to have a down year because there is somebody in that quarterback class in 2023 that they're interested in. I think they have more interest in. Let me see, 2023 QB.
You think they go full rebuild and get rid of Pete?
No, I think that Bryce Young's going to be in the draft. Like, I think they go. I don't know if it's full rebuild.
He's fucking 70 years old, dude. You got to get somebody new in there.
Yeah, but it would make more sense. Like, 70 years old, but he still has a lot of energy, and the teams that he's had are not bad. Like, even last year when Russell Wilson was healthy.
Malachi Black says Bryce Love from Alabama, no thanks.
Like, even I know the 6 foot, 194 pound quarterback is not going to work in the NFL. But
the next Tua.
Yeah, Pete Carroll is, I think that the Seahawks weren't that bad at the end of the season last year. Like, those last 6 games, they were actually pretty good. And I think Russell was kind of just burnt out. And those teams obviously weren't going to last forever with the Legion of Boom and Cam Chancellor and Byron Maxwell. Like, they had such a unique defense that by the time all of that was dismembered, there was no way they were ever going to be as good as that again. So Bryce Young isn't who they're interested in. Let me see. Is it this guy? It might be this guy, this C.J. Stroud from Ohio State. 6'3", 218 pounds. Stroud ticks far more of the he ticks far more of the prototype boxes at the quarterback position than Bryce Young. He has the size, the compact release, and the ability to operate from the pocket that the NFL teams are looking for. Stroud broke the pocket on only 48 of his 466 tries. That's really fucking good. Like, he lives
that
in the pocket.
also just says he has a good offensive line.
That's actually a great point. When you're at Ohio State, that probably is a great idea. But the Seahawks, I mean, I don't know what Pro Football Focus has their offensive line at, but maybe that's what they do this year is develop on getting that offensive line stacked. So when you bring in a C.J. Stroud, he'll have somebody to stand behind. Then there's this Tanner McKee. This was another name that I saw. 6'6", 226 pound junior out of Stanford. While technically a junior for eligibility purposes, McKee spent 2 years prior to Stanford on an LDS mission, so he's Mormon.
Oh, bro. The Seahawks are ranked 32nd in offensive line.
Oh, they gotta rebuild. They're gonna need help.
Yeah.
So if he were to declare in 2023, he'd be a 23-year-old rookie. This guy could be the guy. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. He could have been in that recruiting class.
I can't take anybody named Tanner seriously as my starting quarterback. It's too bad.
It's not a good starting
Tanner
quarterback.
McKee.
Tanner McKee. Yeah, it does seem like he sounds like the backup coming in when your guy gets hurt. Like,
and he's a Mormon. He's gonna get fucking roasted.
But he's 6'6", dude. He's fucking stacked, bro. So there's some big dudes coming out of
everybody else in the locker room's fucking 6'10", 340 on the offensive line.
College football is going to be so fun this year, dude. Like I know that it's like hacked to like college football more than the pros sometimes, but Saturday nights, like football just feels different on a Saturday night.
It's all day Saturday football.
Yeah, all day. So but that's what I mean. I think that the Seahawks this is their plan. There's a really good quarterback class coming in. And it's going to be, yes, I love it. But you brought up something interesting. You said fucking Tua. Have we moved on from Tua? Like, remember when he was in college and everybody was thinking Tua is the next, like, huge star in the NFL? Like, that's somebody that the way he can look off as safety in that Georgia game was all it took for the Dolphins to know this is our guy. Like, people thought that Cincinnati was going to just jump all over him. Like, we need Tua. Tua was up there with Joe Burrow. He had the hip injury. His arm strength is clearly, like low. Like he doesn't. If we were playing Madden, he's an overall 60 in deep accuracy, and deep power. But I don't know. Are you not sold? Do you think Tua's really just all right? It's over.
I think so. What was his excuse last year? He didn't have any injuries, did he?
Yeah, he was hurt a few times last year. Like,
did you see all the shit they're making about he was throwing some balls to Tyreek and like threw the fuck out of him?
Oh no, that makes me so sad. Is that for real?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch.
I think it's all over Twitter.
I don't want to see that, but I want to see that. Tua underthrows Tyreek.
Yeah.
You know, I switched to this Brave search. I fucking hate it. Like it's not good.
Yeah, I got the link here.
No, I got it here. It's on golfdigest.com.
Oh, this is just straight up on YouTube.
Okay. Allow
ads. It doesn't look that bad, though.
Okay, it's on YouTube. Let's just go to YouTube. YouTube.com. Let's see.
Okay. I mean, sure, he's got to, like, stop to catch it, but...
But is it, like, a severe underthrow, like they're saying? Like, they're trying to make it seem like...
The way it's edited, like, you can't tell what he had to do. I don't know. Do you have the link or here?
I got it right here. 65-yarder, dude. So, I don't know. Like, everybody really is off the two.
Oh, maybe that one's better for practice right there.
Hold on. Let me pause it.
Oh, see, that's a good throw, I guess.
I think a lot of people are just so ready to move on from Tua. Like, in the NFL, if you're not immediately Peyton Manning, which, by the way, Peyton Manning wasn't even immediately Peyton Manning. Like, I think a lot of people...
He had a terrible rookie season, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or second year.
Yeah. Like, well, they threw him in there, and they were like, hey, figure this out, kid. And he was throwing picks everywhere. And Marshall Faulk had to be the one to tell him, like, Peyton, this is the NFL. Like, everybody's going to be able to get to your shitty throws, right? Like, you have to figure this out sooner rather than later. So, yeah, Tyreek Hill goes to training camp, hyping the crowd up. Did you see Antonio Brown at that concert, by the way?
No.
Oh, dude.
He's in public?
So people were saying it was one of the most cringeworthy things I've ever seen, and I watched it going, I don't know, this isn't as bad as anything else I've ever seen. Look at Tyreek.
It's not worse than fucking Jameis Winston's I'm going to eat W's.
Oh, that was really weird, but it's such a meme now that I love it. I'm always like, let's go eat one. You see that right there? That's a W. Let's eat one. That's great. I would be so hyped up if somebody did that in front of me. All right, let's take a look at this throw. Podcasters, Tua's dropping back. Loads one up. That was perfect. What does that mean? Oh, this is the wrong video.
This isn't the underthrow. This is the successful throw.
These are good throws.
I mean,
but that's what I mean. Look at this action. Like, I feel like this is good. I feel like they should be happy with their investment right now. Like, that was a good throw. So it's easy. Like, every quarterback has a couple bad throws, right? Is that like
not Tom Brady, but yeah.
Yeah, but Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady until after years of molding.
Until the first time he ever started a game.
Yeah, in the NFL, not in college. Everyone always talks about, like, I love Tom Brady when he went to Michigan. Like, no, you didn't. Michigan didn't like Tom Brady.
Malachi Black says Tua is winning MVP based on that throw.
Yeah, exactly. That was an MVP throw right there. I think Pat McAfee. Oh, you sent me the link.
Deshaun missing 6 games has a better chance of winning MVP.
Dude, I don't know. What if Tua balls out? Like, it can happen. There's been crazier things that have happened in this league. Okay, oh my God.
There's only one team winning in Florida, and it ain't the fucking Miami Dolphins.
Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, hold on. Okay, Tua's got the ball. Throws it. I don't know.
See, you can't tell from this fucking video.
You can't tell. That's not.
You
can
tell like he's catching it behind him.
Yeah, like you can't tell from that. Like that's not. No, you don't do that.
This is what I bet you. Skip Bayless had a 5-minute fucking speech about that.
That is one of the first people that pop up is fucking Skip Bayless. Like he's already underthrowing him. This isn't a good move by Miami. Why would they bring in Tyreek Hill if you don't have a quarterback that can accommodate his playing style? So Tyreek Hill's legs, by the way, he looked pretty yoked. Dude, we gotta watch Antonio Brown. I almost forgot. So Antonio Brown did this performance, and everybody was like face palming about how bad it was and how shitty it was. And I kind of watched it like this isn't worse than anything else that I've seen. Like people are acting like he's coming out and like I don't know.
Is it worse than Ray Rice?
No, like definitely not. Like it's the song isn't even that bad. Like I don't like rap music anyway, but like if I was at this show, I would be like, this isn't as bad as some of the other fucking people here.
AB, what you got on, AB?
Chase Davis on the beat, yeah.
Put that shit on.
So for podcasters, he does this little dance with his hands. Now this is what everybody's making fun of. Is like, do your dance, AB, and he does this little like. He almost looks like two windshield wipers. Like he does this.
Little, also looks like Michael Jackson from Thriller.
And he's also wearing this weird jumpsuit looking thing where it's unzipped, so it looks like his pants are about to fall down.
Way too far.
His pants are going to fall down at any minute. But he's doing this thing with his hands that I wish I could describe better. But it's just everyone has to go type in Antonio Brown Rolling Loud performance, and this must be right before Bianca Belair fights Carmella.
Put that shit on.
Put that shit on. Put that shit on.
My car still was running. Walk out your bitch life. I walked out the field or something. AB, why you made the go with top? What's your deal or something? Buffalo skin on my cold sheet.
Do you think he's got baby oil on his abs?
Do you think that's any worse than some of the other shit that's at these festivals? Like, I don't know.
Fuck no.
I feel like if I was here, I'd be the most hyped for this. Like, who else was out 2000? Who else is at Rolling Loud? Like, what? Rolling Loud 2022 lineup. Like, who else would have been here where I would have been like, fuck yeah, I can't believe I get to see. Who fucking cares? I'd be like, AB, do your dance, AB. Turn that shit on. Like, that would probably be the only thing I'd be excited for. Okay, it looks like on what day was AB? Let's see. AB was on Friday. So they had somebody named Snot. Do you know who that is? Snot?
Snot? No, I don't know Snot.
2 Chainz would have been there, so we could have pretended like
Titty Boy.
We could have pretended to like 2 Chainz again. Lil Durk, who I don't like, but I know who that is. Saweetie, I know who that is. I don't know any of her music.
Saweetie.
3 6 Mafia, that would have been cool for a couple songs. Kanye was there. I like Kanye West. So yeah, maybe Friday was pretty stacked, bro. There's other people I've never heard of, like Bia, City Morgue, Don Tolliver, Fivio Foreign, G Herbo, Colin, FRFR. Cash Doll, Playboy Cardi. Like, I don't know who these fucking people are. So if I'm at Rolling Loud and I get to hear AB go, do your dance, AB, turn this shit on, and he does a windshield wiper dance, I'd be fucking hyped. Like, we get a pro NFL player out here dancing.
Yeah, dude, that fucking windshield wiper.
Dude.
Trying to vote, I'm tripping, I think she's talking about a yacht. Confetti all over my body, I'm tripping all over the spot. This no regular Birkin bag, this new way out of car. Confetti to put on my socks, I got a ball, how could I not? Confetti to put on my watch.
I got a ball, how could I not? I don't know.
The worst part is the fucking jumpsuit that's unzipped to his fucking dick.
So everybody says the worst part is something else. Like, because I don't know what the worst, I'm probably with you. The worst part is the jumpsuit or the outfit. Like, he looks like such a douchebag. But the song isn't that bad. I mean, the dance is stupid, but is it any dumber than Soulja Boy up in it? Oh, want me crank it, want me roll? Like, no, it's not any worse than that. He's doing a stupid dance. Let's go viral.
It's no schmurder dance.
How many people
it's not bad.
Like, can you just imagine being on TikTok and all the kids are like, do your dance, AB. Turn that shit on. Like,
like this is worse than a Fortnite dance?
Yeah, I don't think this is any worse than that.
This is a me, no, not a fuck. We ain't supposed to make it this far. We really came for the block. We ain't supposed to take it this far. We taking this shit to the top. That don't mean this shit is lost.
I mean, we would play fucking beer pong this all night, dude.
If Tyler Perry was around, this song would be played a lot. Like if we went to a different party, every time we'd get to the new party, he would turn this song on and he would be sitting there by the MP3 player doing the shitty windshield wiper dance. Like this would be
and then we'd be saying, dude, put on fucking Cold Flames now.
If we were this age, if we were that age and this song came out, this would be our favorite song. This would be everybody's favorite song, I feel, because it's Antonio Brown and it is, I don't know, it's a rap song with a beat. It's got that shitty beat stuff that I hate where it's like it's like a fucking hamster's running on a wheel that's triggering the cymbal.
It's just all cymbals.
It's just cymbal. They just hit like the key and then just put it on repeat.
This beat is just 4 notes over and over and over.
Like this beat was made by somebody who goes to like music school. Like I'm gonna take
Malachi Black says, Vleeties, get your shit on.
Get your shit on, Vleeties. Get your shit on.
Put that shit on. Put that shit on. Put that shit on.
I don't know. I don't think it was that bad. Like everybody.
I mean, it's not as gay as Lil Nas.
Quickly in the chat, it's, I don't know, a rap song with a beat. That's how I feel. There's just, I don't know, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard. Whenever someone tries to show me music and say, this is the worst song ever, like, this is going viral for how bad it is, I hear it and I go, I don't know, this isn't any worse than, there's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. Like, this is better than that, in my opinion. I don't know. I think this is fine.
It's acceptable. I don't think it's cringe.
Yeah, like everybody, like there were people posting like, remember Antonio Brown, the $1 million wide receiver? This is what he does now, and I'm thinking, good for him. He was able to turn like his wacky NFL departure into a rap career. And
yeah, what's Jamarcus Russell doing right now?
And I've listened to his mixtapes or his albums. I don't know what they are, and they're not bad. Like I said, they're not worse than anything else that I listened to. Like if you're at the gym and you're in a rap mood, like why not throw on some put your shit on? Like, yeah, why not just throw on some AB or some D-Wall? Darren Waller's pretty good, too. He's got some pretty good songs. So, yeah, I used to be all about wrestlers making music. Now I'm all about football players making music. So, not the worst.
Who's it in the NBA? Is it DeRozan?
Lillard, Dame Dollar. Dame Dollar makes some pretty good
fucking
music.
Drops bars down.
Yeah, he's see, and that's the thing is, you know, these guys can be rappers outside of their profession. So I think that Antonio Brown, much like everyone else, is just, hey, let's do something viral. I will do a stupid dance that the kids will do on TikTok. Like, why not? Like, this doesn't seem ridiculous.
It's not at all. It's fucking 2022. He filmed everything. He filmed himself yelling at cops in front of his wife and kids. He filmed when he was supposed to not be recording people while they say don't record us on the phone while he's getting fired from the Raiders, and then jumping through his yard saying I'm free like he's a fucking slave, and he got out of slavery when he really got cut from his multi-million-dollar contract. So he films everything. Why not?
Yeah, why not? And I think that right now music isn't necessarily about like making the best songs. Because you go on TikTok and shit that's not a good song is still going viral. Like, oh, well.
Ladies, I have never been on TikTok.
I'm not.
TikTok.
The app has been deleted from my phone a lot. And it's
too late. You already made an account.
It's currently deleted. They already have everything, dude. Like, there's no doubt that they know everything about me. So before we go, Zach, we need to pick who's going to win the fucking Super Bowl. Like, we completely just shove that all aside because it's almost impossible at this point. Obviously, who you got?
Tampa Bay automatic lock Super Bowl winners. They added fucking Julio Jones.
But Julio's an old man now. You don't think that matters? Like he's aged.
He's not the best third wide receiver in the NFL.
He's the elder statesman of the NFL. Like just because they have a good third receiver doesn't mean they're going to win the Super Bowl. Although they're going to win the Super Bowl.
They've won one without him.
They didn't win last year though, right?
No, but so what?
No, that's a good point. Like, yeah, that's the obvious. Like, I think
who else is over there? The Rams.
Rams have another chance. That team is all still pretty much there. Like, I do think that. I mean,
Packers without Devontae are done.
You think so? You don't think Aaron Rodgers has one more thing up his sleeve?
I'm sure they'll be okay, but no.
Isn't this weird that this is like the year where you think that, like, wouldn't Rodgers? Remember, Rodgers is always upset that they don't have Like, oh, you guys aren't building the team around me. You're not building the team around me. Like,
now they have nobody.
Yeah, this year they really did not build the team around this guy. And like, what do they think is going to happen?
They're just trying to make him quit.
They added Sammy Watkins, who's always good for week 1 of the season, so they're going to win in week 1. If you play fantasy football, that's a great last round draft pick. Just get Sammy Watkins playing for 1 week and then drop him. Randall Cobb's still on the team. He's past his prime. Like who is his? Like Alan Lazard isn't a number 1 receiver. Do they have somebody we just don't know about that's going to be this amazing? Christian Watson doesn't have a picture. Jawan Winfrey, Danny Davis the third. Like they have this rack.
Well, they still got Crosby, dude.
Like they got this terrible group of wide receivers. Why didn't they put anyone else around Aaron Rodgers this year?
I don't know. They got 2 draft picks for Devontae.
Yeah, and
I don't know, dude. I'm just looking like, okay, in the NFC North, Bears terrible, Lions terrible, Green Bay probably wins that division. The Vikings
can surprise
like
people.
They might compete with Green Bay.
Yeah.
Okay, NFC East, usual. Everybody sucks. NFC
Cowboys.
Cowboys, no, terrible. Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, Redskins.
Although the Eagles do have the number 1 ranked offensive line according to Pro Football Focus.
Well, to protect who?
Well, people are really excited about Jalen Hurts for some reason. Like that was another thing I had to ask you about. Like, did he do anything last year that impressed? Because when they were in the playoffs, all everybody was saying was they have not won a game against a team with a winning record. Like they limped into the playoffs. They got lucky by strength of schedule, so they just kind of showed up to the playoffs and got their lunch eaten. So I don't know.
Well, that's how I feel about the North, the East, and well, maybe not the West because the Rams, but the North and the East. It's just whatever team is going to limp in and just get worked in the first round. Like there's not a playoff team in those 2 divisions.
Nathan thinks that the Packers are going to get Odell Beckham Jr. Like, is there any other wide receiver free agents that are still sitting out there, like NFL free agents right now? Like, is there anyone else right now that's still out there?
I don't know.
Like,
is Odell out there, or he wants to trade?
I think he's still out there. He got traded to the Rams with like a little bit left on his contract. Like he's available to go somewhere else. So let's see. Von Miller, he went to the Bills. This isn't accurate. This is at the end of last season. So let's see.
The South, you got Tampa Bay. The Saints are rebuilding. The Panthers they get CMC back, but let's see if he can fucking last the whole season. And the Falcons are just a fucking garbage fire right now, right?
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay clearly dominates that division. The West, the Seahawks are rebuilding. San Francisco are garbage. The Rams.
That's a question because they made the playoffs last year. Like San Francisco wasn't that bad last year. They have Nick Bosa. They have a pretty good defense, and they're willingly putting Jimmy G to the side. Like they're like, look, we're going to this Trey Lance kid. So they must. I don't go to their practices. So maybe they know like Trey Lance is the future of the NFL. Maybe they know something that I don't. Like that's all I can think. Whenever NFL teams do this, they have to be confident that this is going to work out. Like why would you push aside Jimmy Garoppolo for this guy that we had never heard of until he was drafted? Like they must know this guy's going to be good. So having that knowledge, does that help a little bit in making you think that they might win some games?
Every NFL team of all time has thought they know something that somebody else doesn't fucking know, and it works out maybe 5% of the time.
Yeah.
The only person that probably does it above average is Belichick when he just picks up people that were shit somewhere else and makes them work.
Well,
but no.
Well, and I know that.
I mean, even San Francisco's third in that division versus the Cardinals and the Rams, so they're not even going to make it. I don't even know about
that. I'd probably put the Cardinals below the 49ers. The Niners made the playoffs last year. The Niners won playoff games last year. The Cardinals
didn't. Kyler's going to be studying 4 more hours a week this year, dude.
Oh, dude, I forgot about the mandatory film study that's going to turn Kyler into a top-tier quarterback. Like, that's not a terrible call-out. Like, and so I know that if we have to at least talk about them like every other show does, okay? Dallas Cowboys.
They had the second highest point differential all of last season, dude.
If their defense looked pretty good last year, like down the stretch, they had.
The problem is they can't win a playoff game.
What is that about? Why can't they win a playoff game? Like
they're fucking cursed. That's all it is.
And they didn't have Michael Gallup for the beginning of the year last season. And I
honestly don't even hate. I like Dak Prescott. I like Zeke. I like fucking Jerry Jones. Yeah. But you know what? They're the fucking Cowboys. I hate their fans. Is the fucking problem.
But it shouldn't because
every year it's the fucking Cowboys year, dude.
Is that the Cowboys fans' fault though? Like if I'm any team's fan, like as an Angels fan, every time the season begins, I'm like, okay, this is it. Shohei, Trout, Noah Syndergaard.
You know why, Vleeties?
Why?
Because you're a fucking Cowboys fan and you're delusional. So you think the same? I don't think that about the Angels. I think the Angels are going to be fucking absolute garbage every year.
Even as a Raiders
even when
fan,
they have Mike Trout and fucking Shohei.
Even as a Raiders fan, like last season when they limped,
the Raiders fans are the same. You're all the same. What are you talking about?
But that's the point I'm trying to make. Isn't that every NFL fan? Is there somebody out there who is a diehard? Maybe if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan this year, you can kind of go, all right, this is a rebuild year. But if they win 2 games in a row, are you not going to suddenly go, we're 2-0, baby? Like, I don't know. Drew Lock's looking pretty good. He's averaging 280 yards passing per game. I kind of think we got the league right where we want him. Like, every fan that's all you like certain teams. Like when the Cowboys limped into the playoffs, I thought they were going to win the Super Bowl. Like, I remember Scotty Williams drunk calling me after the Packers got eliminated. And he was like, you don't know what it's like for your team to be this close and not win. I was like, what are you talking about? The Raiders lost like 2 days ago. You didn't think they were actually going to win. I was like, no, I did. Okay, they're playing Cincinnati, who kind of sucks, all right? So, come on. The Raiders had just as good of a chance. They showed up with their boots on, and they were ready to go. So, I don't know. That does happen to me as a football fan where if you're a Vikings fan, you can look at that roster and go, dude, Justin Jefferson is a top-tier receiver. We're going to lock in on Kirk Cousins for 1 more year. Austin Madison, Dalvin Cook. We got a really solid running core. We added some pieces on defense. Why not us? How come the Minnesota Vikings aren't going to win the Super Bowl? So whenever anyone hates the Cowboys, I kind of lean on – I think it's the media's fault more than anything, where people just portray –
It's Skip Bayless's fault.
They portray the Cowboys like everybody – it's almost like when people talk about LeBron James now. Like, how does this affect LeBron's legacy? Like, we're talking about Damian Lillard not wanting.
Kid City says the first 2 games will say a lot about the Cowboys at home versus Bucks and Bengals.
See, those are going to be huge. Well, last year when they played the Bucks,
2 L's to start the season.
They almost beat the Bucks last season in week 1.
Almost doesn't get it done, Vleeties.
It was a moral victory for all of us here in the DFW area.
That is the core of your problem, is you're looking for moral victories.
You
need real victories to get to the playoffs.
Have you ever seen the end of Coach Carter? Just because you lose a game doesn't mean it's the end, all right? Like, it's just the beginning.
That's high school, Vleeties.
It was, but
that's not the NFL where we're getting paid to fucking win, baby.
Look, he went to go coach boys, and they became men, okay? I think that movie could teach us a lot.
You're coaching established men here. You got to win. They're making millions of dollars.
They're going to be fine.
There's no moral victories. There's you win or you get cut.
And I think I do think that the Cowboys, like, not worse than any other team. Like, maybe it is.
The Cowboys can clearly win the division like usual. It's a fucking toss-up at this point.
They could win the Super Bowl.
I'd say they're in the top half of that division.
Once I start looking, maybe, and you know what? I do live in Dallas, so it's not fair because I see these guys on billboards and shit. So I'm looking at this roster like, how is anyone going to beat the Cowboys? So maybe I am part of the problem. I am part of the problem where, like, the Raiders, I don't have the same confidence. I don't have this same, like, okay, look, Derek Carr is an upper tier quarterback. Okay, I can try and trick myself into saying that. I definitely think Dak Prescott is pretty freaking good at quarterback. So I don't know. I maybe, and you're definitely right. Like, I'm so wrong here, but I think that Dak.
But it's like I'm saying though, it's not. It's just the fucking curse because Dak is good, Zeke is good, CeeDee Lamb is fucking really good. They have some really good people on defense. It's just Dak's gonna fucking break his ankle, or Zeke's gonna have a shit year for fucking no reason, or just shit like that always happens. It's a fucking injury. Zeke goes from the number 1 running back to like maybe top 10 next year because he wanted to get an extra fucking 5 nose piercings. It's just always something dumb with the fucking Cowboys. It's probably because Jerry Jones treats them like he's their kids. They do whatever the fuck they want. And I mean, they haven't had a good fucking coach. The coach they have only won a Super Bowl because they have the most talented quarterback of all time while he was there.
Well, and even what's his name? Even when they had like Wade Phillips, like as a head coach, everyone laughed. Like, why is Wade Phillips your head coach? Then he goes to Denver and builds that defense and Von Miller, and they wreck the league. So yeah, I know
when you can focus on one thing, it's a lot easier to coach. Being a head coach is completely different. You're not even fucking coaching at that point. You're the manager. You're not doing X's and O's. You should be fucking making sure you have the best position coaches in the fucking league.
It's Bills Buccaneers, right? That's kind of what it looks like we're going to. We're going to Bill because the Bills also added Von Miller, which I think is a huge add. You know, he won the Super Bowl last year with LA. They signed him for 6 years, which is kind of a lengthy deal for a linebacker or defensive end over the age of 30.
He's going to retire there.
Yeah, like he'll probably play 3 or 4 years. And he's had injuries too, so it's not like he's going to, I mean, he could have some sort of injury that just kind of ends it for him. But it's cool to see him go to Buffalo. I think that's a good place for him to go. They need a guy like him. So Buffalo is, I think Buffalo is that AFC team. I think Josh Allen takes another huge step forward. And, if it's him and Brady in the Super Bowl, you have to think that it could be like this weird passing of the torch moment. But another cursed team.
No, it'll be one last time for Brady to fucking dominate the Bills again.
Well, yeah, exactly, right? Like one more
his whole fucking career.
One more time against the old Buffalo Bills.
I think just looking at from the start of the season, the Buccaneers, the Bills, you have to still say the Rams and Kansas City are like the only teams I'm 100% confident in making the playoffs.
As a fantasy owner for Mahomes last season, I don't think he's very good anymore. Like, I don't know he was just so.
He got that 100. How much did he get? 500 million.
He got a lot. Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, but
and no fucking film clause. I'm relaxing.
No film clause. Yeah,
I'm never watching film again. Yeah. I can just throw passes behind my back. I don't need to watch shit.
He has to hang out with his douchey baby mama and his douchey brother. Like that's his punishment. Like they should have put contract clauses in for them. Like keep them off the sideline. Keep them off social media. Don't have them pour champagne on the fans when it's 20 degrees outside. Like there's several things they could have added in the contracts for that. But I think this is the future of hashtags and headlines, at least for a few weeks, Zach. I've been obsessed with football. Like it's been so awesome. Like I'm all in on football right now. So yeah, we'll have to see. Like we keep getting closer and closer. So I'm gonna be fun. I'm gonna be so locked in, and this is it, man. We're getting close. We're getting close to that season. It's August, man. Hall of Fame game is this Thursday. Raiders, baby. Raiders are always dominant in the preseason. They're probably the winning percentage in the preseason is probably staggering.
That's because they put their actual starters in to get some wins, just to get some confidence for the season.
That might be what it is. They at least got to show teams like, hey, we got some guys too, okay? Don't worry about us. We're really excited about people are saying Jimmy G to the Raiders. You hearing these rumors?
Jimmy G, I wouldn't – for what? I don't think Derek Carr is great, but he's better than Jimmy G.
Well, and that's what people are saying. Like if Jimmy G can accept being a backup somewhere, like let's say that – he gets traded by the Niners, and the Niners eat the cost of his contract. Now you're looking at, okay, well, he's going to be on your team for free pretty much. You're giving up a draft pick. You're getting a free quarterback. Here's Jimmy Garoppolo to back up Derek Carr. The other rumor I heard was to back up Dak Prescott. Like, he's going to back up one of these quarterbacks that's good, and they could just benefit from having a better backup. Like Derek Carr with Mariota as his backup, that was fantastic. Like that was a great. As a Raiders fan, I loved having Mariota as the backup because if anything ever happened to Carr, at least we have somebody competent to come in and sub for him. So yeah, why not have like a Jimmy G? And of course, the Niners could probably use him as a backup too. But how do you tell the locker room, hey, quarterback change, this guy's stepping away?
I don't know. I would keep him. If I was the organization, I would keep him. I would tell. He's the one who's got his fucking Go up there and be like, you know what? I'm still part of this team. I still support this organization. I'm here to do whatever I need to do.
Yeah, to help him win. But
and then if he doesn't do that, then you fucking just cut his ass.
You fucking get rid of him. What a piece of shit.
Get out of here, bitch.
Yeah, and maybe, hey, that might be exactly what happens. Where
you sit him down and you say, either you're going to be a backup here or you're going to be backup somewhere else. So, do you want to fucking buy a new house and deal with moving and doing all that shit? You want to just stay here?
Do you want to deal with moving? I do like if
moving's a fucking pain in the ass.
I do hope that's part of the discussion. Like, look, you don't want to move. Like
you're comfortable.
You
you're
like
San
the Bay
Francisco.
Area.
You get to see people shit in the streets anytime you want.
Yeah, I was telling my cousin before she left. We were talking about New York, and I was saying, like, I just can't imagine going to New York. It seems awful. And she's like, no, it's New York. Like, everybody loves New York.
Bro, fucking James Williams moved back there from Miami.
Why?
That's what I said.
Does he like it in New York? So from what I've heard is if you live in, like, high-rise New York and you are in your little bubble, New York can be very fun. But if you are sort of on the streets of New York, yeah, it sucks.
I know that, like, when COVID started, there was a lot of building fires around him from riots, and then that's why they left. I think they were just gone long enough to forget how shithole it was. He's into the financial markets and shit, so there's a lot of jobs there for him, but I think they just went back temporarily, and then they're going to move either back to Miami or they might move to Utah, dude.
What does he do? So wait, he's in the finance because, like, I'm ready to buy some more shit. I'm thinking we need to buy some defense contracts before Nancy Pelosi goes to Taiwan. Like, I'm ready to start. I already own Lockheed Martin, so I think we need to buy some more of that. I think that's what I need to do is get more of that.
You need to get some Northrop Grumman.
Okay.
And
who builds missiles?
Raytheon.
Yeah, got to get Raytheon involved. Like, I invest in the Invesco Defense Fund. I think that's kind of the best one. Is Invesco is kind of a winner. Can I be honest? Like in this shitty stock market, Invesco, those ETFs that I'm in with Invesco, those seem to be doing the best. So
war is always going to go up, dude.
But I think that Invesco,
even when we're not at war, we're still making shit.
They charge the most to, like, because they have all the same things like Lockheed Martin and, they own all those. All of that's part of their portfolio.
Oh, you need Boeing. You need all that shit.
See, and that's why you just throw it into an ETF that handles it. I think Invesco charges like 0.4%, which is kind of a lot, but take it, dude. For every $1,000 you want 4, take it. So I think we covered it all, Zach.
0.4% or 4%?
0.4.
Oh, okay. I got it. You said 1,000. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, that's a lot.
$2,000. They want 4. Then you have it.
Yeah, but then if you blow up to like 10 billion, they're getting hundreds of millions. Dude.
That's how Invesco makes their money, and I'm okay with that because they made me a bunch of money. So, because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know when to sell more Lockheed Martin or buy more Lockheed Martin. I'll let these guys make $4 for every 1,000 to figure that out for me. It's great.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not. I think that's the secret of the stock market because I was investing with Fidelity. They have their zero market cap or their zero. It's called like S&P 500 zero, so they don't charge you any expense ratio. There's no expense ratio, so you're thinking this is a great deal. It's free, and they're managing it. Meanwhile, we have a dipshit president who's we are in a recession, people. I don't know.
You just buried your ass.
If you're in the stock market, there's a recession right now. Like, I don't know how there's even like a debate. Like, we've been in a recession for months at this point. Like, I don't know why people are trying to no recession. There's a new definition of recession. I always love on like when the press secretary, she says, well, many of our economists, like, yeah, they're your economists. They're fucking your yes men. They're your yes men that'll say whatever you need them to say. So that way they can say, well, 9 out of 10 dentists say this. It's like, yeah, they're all 9 of your friends. And the one dentist that's actually logical was the only one who didn't want to go along with it. So
see, this is where we're grown up because I like lose sleep at night sometimes because I don't have a 401k right now. I cashed out when I moved out here to buy our house. But then if you think about it, I cashed out like 60 grand.
Yeah.
I'm up like 250 on my house. So I fucking ditched this whole fucking market. I skipped out on Biden, and I'm still fucking up. I just got to remember that.
I think my favorite.
Next time I sell a house, I need to pull out like $100K and put it in a 401k.
I'm thinking I just keep loading up my IRA right now because as we have a shitty president with a shitty economy,
you can do that too.
In like 10 years, the things are going to be so much better than they are right now. I assume, like for all we know, it's going to be.
Or it's just all fucked and it won't matter anyway. So
AOC is going to be president. She's going to be calling drag queens patriots and thanking them for their service. Like
while she has her hands fake handcuffed behind her back.
You know, I didn't do an Islandish. I haven't done an Islandish Catholic in like a month, but I almost did one because I was at church and my pastor was getting oddly political, and he was saying like we were talking about the culture war, and he was kind of blaming conservatives for some issues and liberals for some issues, and he was like, you know, you need to vote biblically, not politically, and I'm thinking. Well, if I do that,
then you don't vote either way. Then what the fuck are you supposed to do?
Well, in my head, I'm like, well, then I'm going to vote for the party that isn't okay with abortions. I'm going to vote for the party that doesn't want drag queens at elementary schools. I'm going to vote for the party that doesn't want whatever genders in whatever bathrooms they want. I'm going to use the Bible says man and woman. There's never anything in the Bible about trans or they thems. So like, which party does he mean? Like that, isn't it so obvious? Like that's kind of fascinated me that my pastor could say something so ignorant. Like, I just thought that was shocking. Like, why are you even are you trying to be hip and cool pastor saying like, Donald Trump is not my savior? You know, it's like, yeah, we know.
He wants you to vote for him.
Yeah, he's running for office. Well,
yeah, in a few weeks, he's going to be like, hey, by the way, running for senator.
I don't mean to take some stabs at religion, but that was also part of the issue. Was like he says Donald Trump's not my savior, and he gets claps, and then he says something else, and people are standing up like, "That's good preaching, Pastor, Amen." And I'm in the crowd.
That's the problem, bro.
I lean over to Linda and I go, "Can I boo?" Like I was ready. I was ready to boo. Like, and I love my pastor. He has shown great interest in our family. He's delivered a lot of great messages that have affected me. So. Like when he's talking about politics, I'm thinking, how can you watch anything on the news and pretend it's a question of which political party lines up more with Christian values? Like
who even acknowledges the Bible as something to read.
Yeah, like AOC gets in the street and goes, why is it Christianity the one that's against abortion? Like I was listening to, I found a new religious podcast, which has sort of become my second obsession behind the NFL. Like, behind my Christ podcast, right behind my NFL podcast.
It's second.
And yeah, like even they were saying, like,
honesty is a virtue.
Like the Church of Satan was using religion to allow women to get abortions, and like, you know, hey, you can use it for religious purposes since we're an organized religion as well. And the guys on the podcast were saying, if your views align with the Church of Satan, that's probably not a good thing. And
what podcast is it?
It's the Ryan Reese show. I kind of hate that portion of it where they do like, you know what? I love it. I don't know why I said I hate it. We're going to get some of these. We got to get Tay or somebody on Fiverr to record some. This is hashtags and headlines, lines.
Dude, you got to listen to Cultish. You'll like it.
Oh, I need to listen to so many things. When you type Ryan on YouTube, it automatically assumes Ryan Van Vliet's the first thing that I want to look up. So I think we've covered it all tonight. The Ryan Reese show is what I was listening to. They had the guy from Lexit on, and I really like that guy. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And yeah, he told a story. He shared his testimony. We've been sharing our testimonies at work. Shared my testimony today with some guy. Because that was the other problem with my past.
Says I relate most politically to the Prince of Lies and the ruler of darkness. I'm the good guy.
That's true. I'm the good guy here. And yeah, he said he was talking about bipolar as well at church, and it was kind of offending me. Like, I don't know, like
that's my label, and I don't want to hear what you have to fucking say.
Well, he was saying like they're going to over medicate you at first, and then you're supposed to go back and let them know. And I just thought, like, no, my testimony is I was diagnosed bipolar, and they put me on a bunch of meds. And instead of succumbing to just taking a bunch of medicines, I started praying more. I got more into religion. I started listening to more podcasts. I started reading the Bible, and I was like, here's all these steps that I've taken to overcome my disorder. And now here he's telling me, no, you're supposed to go back and get more medicine. Like, no, you know what? No, I'm not doing that. Like, I solved my problem.
Well, then, you know what you shouldn't do is fucking hang out with Gino.
That's true. Well, and
it's going to all fucking come back. Because he's talking about dying multiple times.
Yeah. Well,
which I don't even know how.
And I've said this for Gino, and I feel so, like, I always talk about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And that's why I love talking to you. We have very similar, we're both fathers, we're both religious, we both have jobs, and we both are really focused on other things. And you're back to trying to run a marathon. Like, we're doing all of these things that are bettering ourselves. And I like surrounding myself with people like that. I like that Kevin built like a whole podcasting empire. Like, there's so many things that I admire about lots of people that I surround myself with. Ricardio posts a lot of memes. I love it. So, but he can't stop takedowns. So there's several things that I like being surrounded by people that have something interesting to share. And then I go to Gino and I'm like, when I try and get him to do a cover letter, he can't fucking do it. Like, it's like, he fascinates me because he has like this case study of, can you take a 28-year-old at this level and try and get him back up? Like, you heard last week where it was just, or maybe 2 weeks ago, where, hey, let's do a workout. Oh no, I don't want to work out. I'm tired. Okay, well, let's do 45 more minutes and talk about Impact Wrestling. Okay, let's do it. Like I can't get you to work.
Well, also, you're tired, Gino, because you don't work out. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You gotta be tired and fucking work out, and then get some sleep and not wake up tired, and then work out again. And then after like a week and a half, you won't be tired all the time anymore.
I didn't work out this morning. I didn't work out before work, and I was tired by 2. Like, I can't fucking do this. I had like 5 cups of coffee at work. I just could not get my rhythm because I didn't work out.
I can wake up, run 5 miles, and be less tired than if I got an extra hour of sleep.
And I think that's the illusion. A lot of people just assume like this Apple Watch does wonders. When you close those rings early on in the day, you have energy pretty much for the rest of the day. And I think that's a huge issue with like Gino or somebody who thinks like, well, no, if I work out, I'm going to be tired. Like,
I think his biggest issue is fucking sunlight at this point.
He needs more vitamin
D. Vitamin D supplementation, and he needs at least an hour a day in the sunlight.
Well, and I remember one of his excuses was there's no room in his room to work out. And I kind of looked around when I did that.
Make room, Gino. Throw away the dildos.
But I even did that Daily Burn workout, and I didn't need that much room. So like that's another illusion that people kind of come up with. Like, I don't have any space to work out. It's like, you can
go outside and do jumping jacks in your driveway.
But even that Daily Burn workout we did was like punch, couple kicks. It wasn't like I needed any more than like a 3x4 space. Like, it's not, I don't need this like, I need to make sure I'm in an arena to be able to do a workout. Like, no, you can work out in very small spaces. Like, I don't know where that comes from too. So
the best part is I was listening to both those podcasts while at the gym. So it was very entertaining.
You're like at the gym, like, all right, I'm motivated.
I'm just crushing the day compared to what I'm listening to.
If this is the bar, I have leapt over it, man. So, well, I got to run to Louisville. I got to let some puppies out. I think we covered it all, right, Zach? Did we nail it all?
We fucking did it, dude. We're back, bro.
I think this was an amazing episode of Hashtags and Headlines Sports. I don't know. We need a sounder. We needed that guy. The Ryan Reese Show. I think that sounds taken. So I'll have to figure this out. I'll have to get on Fiverr and record some stuff. But I like the idea of like sports being yelled at some point. I can just hit a button. Like, sports. Like, that would be most appropriate for me. So I'm going to head over to Louisville. There will be a Daily Burn immediately following Vleeties right here. Go into the TWFS Discord. He's too tired for the Daily Burn. The Daily Burn was actually pretty fun. It was, Kevin was like, okay, I'm actually sweating a little bit. Like, he didn't think it was going to be rough. I'm over there going like, fuck, I haven't thrown a kick in forever. Like, my hip was like, my legs don't move that way. So I'm independently working on my roundhouse kicks. So
yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to actually run 5 miles in the morning. So I'll skip the Daily Burn.
We need to get a GoPro and like record.
I'll live stream or I'll vlog something while I'm out running.
My meathead coworkers want to do leg day together on Saturdays. So it's like fitness is becoming like a part of my life again, and I'm actually very excited. So
we got to make a fitness fucking chat in the Discord, dude.
Well, Kevin's got one. So we'll go into Kevin's and we'll talk about Tessa habits. And that's not only where Tessa takes a shit, but that's where she does a lot of fitness. We post stuff of her working out. But yes, we do. I also want to add a cover letter section. No Gino tonight, Kevin. Sorry, bro. I got to head over to my buddy's house and take care of some stuff. So we're parting ways right now. Thank you, everyone, for downloading, or thank you, everyone, for being here live. I had a great time. I think we had an amazing time. So what we're going to do now is ride off into that glorious, glorious sunset. Zach, thank you so much for being here tonight. And, let's do this again next week. I'll be back tomorrow for the whole fucking show, immediately following Dynamite. Good things in the pipeline, Zach.
It's all fucking coming together, bro.
We did it. I hit a button. I was like, I swear I hit play on this song. What happened? Thank you, Cassidy, Auld Lang Syne, Ricardio, Spliff, Gilbert, Quigley, Nathan, kept me cool. Amazing time tonight, my friends. Quigley, Dakota, crushed it. Thank you, Zach. Have a good night.
Good night.